Hi everybody. Sorry I'm a few minutes late. Today's been a crazy day. I hope everybody had a good Monday. We are going to be going over 50 Cent and his feud with Diddy because he actually wrote the judge a letter in the P. Diddy trial that just happened. And I haven't read the entire thing, but what I did read was so spot on, and it's going to be interesting seeing what everybody else thinks. He had been going after Diddy for years. He said he's a predator. He's done and said many things that are just big red flags. And so there was a group of rappers that would not even text with Diddy. Like, he was one of them, Eminem, so Dr. Dre. But so yeah, there were a whole bunch of people who were like, no, this is wrong, bad. And 50 Cent ended up years ago, with everything going on, no one listening to him, he had decided that he was going to hire a film crew to follow Diddy around for years, and then hope that something happens and turn it into a documentary. And that is exactly what happened. So he really predicted that, all for bad things, but he was right. So sometimes you just need to pay attention. I'm going to go ahead and get started. If you guys need the volume up or down, let me know. We're just going to watch a few clips of him talking about Diddy before I read his letter. All right.
In particular, Netflix docuseries that you've been working on, Diddy Do It.
Right.
You've been saying for years that you feel you knew Diddy's character.
Right.
Yet you said you weren't a part of that lifestyle, you weren't going to the parties. So what makes you so absolutely sure that these kinds of allegations that we've seen against him are true?
Well, I'm surprised by the allegations, as surprised as everyone else is. Like, I didn't make the allegations. I didn't tell people to say these things. It comes out, I see it in the news like everyone else. But I did feel uncomfortable with the way you represent the idea of going to these projects.
To come party with me.
Yeah. And then that swayed me away from it, just that alone.
So you didn't realize the...
As much stuff was coming. Like, when I seen today, it was allegations of 3 men that said he drugged them. And it's a long time, to be honest with you. Like, when people don't remember being violated for 20 years, it makes me feel a little hard.
What are your thoughts on the allegations against Jay-Z?
That was interesting. When I was saying things, not knowing exactly what I was saying, but I was going with, like, where's Jay at? He's mad quiet, like while the Puffy thing was going on. But it's obvious now that his team was being made aware that he was in those allegations also, so. I hope it works out, because with his family, the things that go on internally is that those accusations are crazy.
There's one clip. I had to be careful which ones I chose because some of these got pretty inappropriate. So if we run across another one like I had, we'll definitely skip it. Let's see.
Him, but what
the last thing I saw was like a guy there. He was like, yo, he like pushed me into the truck. It really hurt. And he sounded me. Like, he sounded me. I was like, yo, look, I could find other things to do for money. Did you see the video? I could find other things to do for money. But I'm not sure I can say that.
Okay, let me see if I can move it forward just in
Like, I look at things and go, when you see the new lawsuit coming with Jay, the part with Jay, I go, oh shoot, like, then I think about it, I go, that had to be there. So when I was saying that he was missing, he just wasn't actively being out there because they was dealing with that.
Wait, do you think there's truth to the Jay thing? There's no way.
Know, like that. Look, like if you say, I have this thing where I'm conflicted when it takes you 20 years to remember something happened to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I go also.
I believe that Jay-Z, either it was dropped and he's countersuing or something to that effect, because I did hear that he's going to be going after the person who claimed DV against him.
the Super Bowl. Like, it was not okay for me to be at the Super Bowl.
Oh, he tried to cut that.
Yeah, he didn't want me to. Well, they worked to make like there was an issue with me in the NFL that doesn't exist. And
So he
then-
did the corporate way of
Yes.
trying to keep you down.
I'm
Oh, it's
doing
not
it.
me. It's now.
It's them. And then when M says he's not gonna do it if I'm not there, then
Let's go.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you know,
That's what I'm
What's
talking
your
about, yeah.
and Jay's issue?
it's just competitive stuff. for
It's
the
really
music.
just
This is
competitive.
what I'm saying. When it gets past actual art, like actual music, and you're trying to block something that's in business, then it feels weird. It feels like we.
All right, so we're not gonna watch this whole one, but basically the one part of this that I thought was safe and okay to watch was him describing a story of Diddy trying to get him to go out and go shopping with him, and you tried all the clothes, all look. You don't need to pay. I'll pay for you, and he was so disgusted with everything that it was just like adding on to the fire that he was like, I'm getting the heck away from this person. Something's not right. This is bad. So yeah, and they're obviously still talking about Jay-Z because at the time Jay-Z was getting sued.
Courtroom, and you know 50 Cent wasn't going to stay quiet. After Sean Diddy Combs beat those major RICO and trafficking charges, social media started throwing shade in 50's direction. People saying he better watch his back, claiming the system going to circle back and that Diddy's freedom spells trouble for his longtime rival. But 50, please. In classic 50 Cent fashion, he jumped on Instagram with his signature trolling energy and laughed it off like it was nothing but a bad joke. He basically said, "Scared? Of who? For what? I ain't never been scared of no man walking this earth. Straight to the point. No sugarcoating. No fear. Let's keep it real. This is 50 Cent we're talking about. The same man who got shot 9 times and lived to joke about it. The same man who's been poking the bear his whole career, whether it's Ja Rule, Diddy, Floyd Mayweather, or even his own TV rivals. Fear just ain't in his DNA. But you gotta wonder, why were people even saying this? See, a lot of folks think 50's relentless trolling of Diddy, especially over the sex trafficking allegations and the federal heat, might have painted a target on his own back. Some believe 50's been too vocal, too public, and in the eyes of powerful people, that kind of noise don't go unpunished. Now that Diddy's beaten the serious charges, there's this conspiracy vibe floating around the culture, like revenge is just one phone call away. But 50 ain't buying it. He's making it clear. He stands on his words and won't be bullied into silence. If anything, this verdict is only fueling his fire. Expect more memes, more petty posts, and probably a new TV series inspired by all this drama. The bigger picture? 50's response shows exactly why he's still feared in this industry. He speaks his mind, consequences be damned.
Yeah, so I think it's a terrific thing. Being honest, open, and out there, transparent. There's nothing better than to be able to trust what someone's saying because they're not trying to be sneaky and do all the things behind your back. So yeah, I've appreciated this, but I was shocked when I found out that he wrote the judge a letter. There's one more clip, and I'm just going to tee it up for you guys, that this is what 50 Cent put on his X account, but put online his reaction to P. Diddy going and getting arrested and being in prison or jail.
This trip, I know that nigga said, I'm checking my paperwork today. I get out this money. Damn. Nigga, I spent Christmas in jail.
Okay, so you see, Diddy really liked him, but 50 Cent did not, still doesn't like him at all. I'm going to go ahead and read to you, it's not long at all, but I'm going to read to you the letter that he wrote the judge. And I'm also going to pull it up on the screen for you in case you want to read along. Dear Judge Subramanian, I've had an ongoing dispute with Puffy for over 20 years. He is very dangerous. Multiple times I had fear for my life. I think you should consider the safety of the general public, Your Honor, before unleashing him upon them. There hasn't been enough time for him to reform or make any adjustments despite his trying to teach a class in there. As you already are aware, the government has spent the maximum amount of money on deploying federal agencies, which appear to be an army in 2 locations simultaneously. Tongue twister for me. Later, his son, who is dealing with his own R allegations, claimed that the feds had hit the wrong house. Anyway, Diddy's only going to return to hiring more male S workers and keeping most of the baby oil away from the general public, and the babies need it. My Netflix doc on this scandalous subject is coming soon. So yeah, he's gonna have his documentary coming out probably in just the next couple of months. I love that he made the very end of it very lighthearted with the baby oil. If you are not in the know, Diddy had probably 2 Costco worth of baby oil and being stored everywhere. It's insane how much there was. So I appreciated his joke. But there we are. We now get to see that he was trying to get the judge to reconsider. The judge ended up giving 4 years, basically, and he can technically be eligible to get out in 2, right around there. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. And if you missed any of the trial days or things that we talked about, if you go on to my, I think, regular videos, I'm not sure if I've done a live on his recently, but yeah, so if you go to my regular videos, I have a whole bunch of information on it, what Diddy's charges were. We were following along when he first got arrested, and through the trial and everything then as well. So you can catch up quick and easy. Unfortunately, they didn't have the cameras be in the courtroom because it's New York and they usually don't do that. So a little bit of a bummer. It would have been nice, but at least we had people reporting on it from the inside, and it's also nice to be able to see who wrote the judge what. I have one more video that I'll be coming out later on this subject, and that is Diddy's kids and his mom and their letters to the judge. And they're posting on social media. I'm not sure every child wrote the judge a letter, but I definitely think most of them that are at least like old enough to, they all were addressing it on social media. So we should be able to find things, talk about it, see what we think is interesting. I forgot that his son was doing bad things and a part of that raid, and I don't know if he's in jail right now for our allegations, but something bad. And if that's the case, that is definitely his dad and his son, obviously very related. Not that he was found on anything necessarily like that, but there was so many things. So many things. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will be back on later today. There's several other things I have to catch up on. So if there's anything that you want me to talk about or things that I missed earlier in the day today or even last week, just write me and let me know, and I'll see what looks to be like all the things we can address. I am doing my next video, not the 50 Cent stuff, but my very next video is going to be about, everybody knows about Charlie Kirk, what went on, and I've been digging in to read and learn about the old guy who stood up and said that he did it. And supposedly he was at 9/11 when it happened. He was at all these different major events and then was randomly there and did that. So I have been doing so much digging. I'm actually trying to help other channels get more information because a lot of us are curious and want to know. So we're working hard trying to get some answers, and when I do, I will post that video up, so just stay watching. All right, I will be back on here later. Thank you so much for watching.